Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the fall season. I don't know if you feel this way, but it's usually fall is a time where we start to slow down a little bit, and I certainly don't see it. I've been to your leadership meetings, and I know that across all sources of the business that we continue to have a really nice fall, and we're way ahead of the pace. Give you some quick numbers. Our August numbers last year we did 186 units, which was the second largest month that the company had ever had. In that month, the net dollars after all fees were paid for agents was $650,000 worth of commissions that were made. This year, we've had a 20% increase in our units for 223 units, and $843,000 that was made by our agents after all fees were paid. You'll notice that our actual dollars were a 30% increase versus our units 20%. That was really driven by a higher than normal average sales price for August of $401,000 across the whole company. And that's really just a continuation of what's been a fantastic year. You can see that so far this year we have a 32% increase in our settled units, 1,480 through August 31st. Our average sales price is relatively flat. It's up a little bit, $379,000. And our pendings for September look excellent. September, we have 61 in the books at the time that we did this report, with 179 pending files for the month of September, and 370 total pending transactions for the year, which will continue to go up. We're having a record year. You guys are doing really phenomenally. Everybody is doing a wonderful job, and the teamwork is really paying off. So want to focus on this year, but I also want to focus on next year. And we always talk about platinum. I'm sure that occasionally people get a little tired of it, but don't ever get tired of it, because it's not only how we grow our business, it's how we protect our business. There's other people out there that would love to have what we have. And the best way that we can protect it is to win that platinum award and keep people out. Lock it down and just say, you know what? You can't compete with us on the level that we're able to run this business. And that's really what we've done over the last couple of years, and that's what we're on track to do for this year. But we have some things that we need to really focus on and make sure that we get done, so that we hold that platinum mark in each of our anagrams and we protect our business. And those three things are going to be our service returns. What people are saying about us, they like our service. That's been very good, and ultimately that's what's really important. We just need more of them to say that. We're going to talk about how to do that. Our save the deal. Our partners. We know that that's where our partners really are in this business for, and they're looking for the mortgage opportunity from us. We're doing save the deal 26% of the time. We need to increase that. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And finally, we need to just stay drilled down on our compliance. We'll talk about some things there that we can improve upon. And again, guys, we're comparing ourselves against the best, and that's who we should be comparing ourselves against. Ultimately, we want people in every category that's out there to say that's what New Millennium does. We should be somewhere near that. So let's talk a little bit about our service. Here's in USAA, you can see across all three of our anagrams, we're making the goal for how we're rated. So in USAA, with our 10-point scale, we need to get a 10 85% of the time or better. So you can see it's close. We're at 87, 88, and 91. So those are all good. There's a lot of surveys that are in there, so our numbers are looking good there, and I think our service, we will ultimately get the right numbers. On NFCU, you can see we're at 98, 98, and 98. So we're doing very well there. There we need 90% of the time. So what people are saying about us is excellent. We talked about the fact that we might need a few more of them to say it. And so we have an action item for you today. There's a list that's out there in your office. I need you to go through that list. If you have a name on that list, those people have not returned the survey. What I need you to do is look through it, and we don't need every single person on that list to be sent another survey. So I only want you to mark down and put a check next to people that you are 1000% sure will give us a 10. We did this project once before. We followed up with some people, and unfortunately we followed up with some people that didn't have a really great experience with us, and reminded them and asked them to do a survey, and then it wasn't a good survey. We cannot have that happen. So I really want you to look at it. If you think they had a good experience but you're not 100% sure, don't check it. We really only need to increase and look at the people that we're 1000% sure are going to say, yeah, that those guys are. If I could give them an 11, I'd give them an 11. Those are the people that we're looking for. And finally, when you look at that list, a lot of the people, when we get them, they're moving from somewhere else. They might have a company address, and now they have a new company address. Could you please check the email address, see if that's what you think is their most recent email address, and then get that information back. Once we do that, we're going to send an email out from relocation to the client. We'll copy you. It's very similar to some of our other follow-ups, and we're going to ask them if they'd like another survey. If you can come in behind that email, you'll be copied on it, and just say, hey, this is really important, and can you do this? That's what we need. If they happen to send that back to you, if they reply back to you, can you just forward it to relo@c21nm.com? We'll get another survey ordered for them, and we'll let you know as soon as we've received a copy of it. So that's what we're looking to do. We're looking to increase. There's when this training is over, there's a list that's in your office. Please make sure that you've checked it. Please make sure that if you're even have a shadow of a doubt of whether or not they would give you a 10, cross it off the list. We only want 100% sure people that we think would provide us a very positive survey. Our save the deal process. Guys, this is so simple, and we just want to continue to make it simple. Every deal that we have for business development has a mortgage source. Obviously, the ones that are very obvious are our USAA would be a USAA mortgage. Our NFCU would be NFCU mortgage. Our broker to broker would be our own company, First County Mortgage. Anything that was lead router would be First County Mortgage. Anything that was a Total Home Services would be First County Mortgage. If you're unsure about what the source is, send a save the deal and say, I'm not sure what the source is. That's fine. We just want to really help our partners get to where they want to go, and so that they'll be interested in helping us get to where we want to go. And that's really as simple as it is. What we need you to do is send an email to BizDev, mark it in the subject line, save the deal with the client's name and their file number, and say save the deal and the reason why. And I really need you to do that before you bring in another mortgage source. I was in our DC office, and it was brought to my attention, hey, a lot of times people are asking me for a couple of sources, and how do I handle that? And I get what you want, Scott, but when I'm out there and face to face with somebody, I'm not sure I always have the right words for this. And here's what we came up with, which is really simple. I think it's really key to play on the relationship. Let's say that it's a USAA customer. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, you know what, USAA has been very good to my company, and they've been very good to me. You obviously have a great relationship with them because you came to me through them. Is it okay if we were to go to them first, and there's a local representative, and I can get you some help with him, and I can do that really fast? And if that doesn't turn out to be the right avenue for you, then I have a recommendation for you, and I can get you that name. Would that work for you? That's what we're looking for, guys. That's the opportunity that we want for our partners. I want to be really clear that I understand that not every deal can go to the correct source. We are not tracking and saying that it must go here or it must go there. What we're saying is that we have to give our partners a really good chance, and we have to follow a protocol to get there. And if we all do that, then the numbers will all pan out, and the people that are supposed to be with that product and that it really fits for will get there. And that's really what we're trying to get done. There is no circumstance where you shouldn't send a save the deal. Even if you think there's absolutely no way that these guys can save the deal, we still need to know that, because we can track that information. We can understand, hey, here's where our partners are not getting the opportunities or don't have the product, and provide that information to them and allow them to figure out whether or not they want to get that product and whether or not they want to compete. So it's really important. I know everybody gets it. We need to increase the usage of this program. There's no reason why we can't have 100% of the time people saving the deal. Our compliance to reporting, I want to show you really quickly how we compare to the company that won the Cup last year. I think I may have showed you this slide before. The key components that Cardis is asking us and tracking us on are, do you give us a timely marketing update? Do you include the listing information when it's a listing? Do you get us the pending sale within 2 days? And do you do a final sale within 2 days? And those are the key measurements. You can see at the bottom, Coldwell Banker United across the board is very, very good at that. At the beginning of the year, these were our numbers. The number up top is our number, and the number below is the number where we are now. So you can see in every area except for including the listing information, we've had a nice little increase. We need to continue and we need to do better. And I know that we're going to do that. I know we have the right processes. I know we have the right people. I know we have the right teamwork. But we have some room to get better there. And that's part of, remember, protecting our business, making sure that nobody really has an avenue to say, here's why you should give the business to somebody other than New Millennium. And this is simple stuff, guys. This is just kind of show up and get it done. And if we do that, nobody's going to touch us. So let's talk a little bit about a couple of the things that we need from you. First of all, I want to clear up as I go out to offices. A lot of times people will tell me, hey, I do an update, and then 3 days later I get another update for the same file. It's a computer program that sends out these updates, and it sends it out every 14 days. So let's say that you got an update sent to you, and it took you 10 days to do that update. You got behind and finally got to it, and you provided an update, and that goes into the system. You're still going to get another update in 4 days. It sends that update every 2 weeks, and it's an automated program. So whenever you get an update, I need you to click on it. If you've just done an update 2 days ago and there is no new information, you can write that in your update. I was late on my last update, provided the information, there's nothing new since then. That's fine. But you do need to click on it, and you do need to get it done. It's just part of doing business, guys. And if you're trying to manage the entire process and 8,000 referrals, or if you're USAA and 100,000 referrals, you need everybody to do it every time. So that's really key. For our final sales, one thing that might help, in general, that was one of our better statistics, and we need to continue to do better there. A lot of times when we do have some late reporting for final sales, we're waiting on a HUD. If we are attending settlement, ask the title company, hey, can you make a scan of the HUD and send it to me, and then just forward it right on to your office. If you do that, then your office can get it into us, and we can get it reported, and we can meet the metrics that we need. So it really would be great if you could ask that at the settlement table, get that scanned to you. I'm sure almost every title company in the world would do it. Certainly I know that our own company would do it. Pending sales. They need to be into us immediately following ratification. Our clients want to know that their people have gone under contract. We owe that to them. We've never really tracked that very well before, and we are now tracking it. So over the next couple of months, we'll have reports that will show us, hey, here's the date that the contract was ratified, and here's the date that it actually came into BizDev. And we'll be doing some coaching on that. So best way to have a positive coaching experience on that is to hand in those contracts as soon as you've got them in, and as soon as you know that they're ratified. Finally, when it comes to our listings, want you to send BizDev the listing information. And we've never really talked about this before. But what I really need, and you can do this right in your update, that's a great place to do it. We need to know, A, did you win the listing? Sometimes we just get it back as dead, but did you win the listing, or did somebody else win the listing? We're looking to track that and understand who did we lose the listing against, if you have that information. But more importantly, when you do win the listing, because I know that the majority of the time that you do, we want to know, hey, what is the term to that listing? What's the active date that we're going to be marketing this property? What's the sales price? And what is the commission? And you can provide that right in your update, right in the notes. But that is information that we're looking to provide to our partners. And if you can provide it there, we'll take it out of there and put it into the closing section for them and let them know what they can expect and what the term and everything looks like. Pretty simple. Last but not least, I just want to give you a calendar item. We have our Wipe the Slate Clean program for anybody that needs to use that program for the third quarter. October 1st is the date for that. It's a one day and one day only. So please talk to your branch leader about whether or not that program is appropriate for you. Other than that, I want to just thank everybody for everything that they're doing. We are coming down the home stretch. We have a chance to be triple platinum again. I think that we're going to be. I know that everybody's going to get behind the things that we need, and I really, really appreciate everything that everybody does. Thanks, and have a great day.